Tim with Ace Appliance in Toledo, Ohio, and welcome back to another in-home diagnostic video brought to you by ApplianceVideo.com. Alright, so we're looking at a Kenmore Refrigerator no cool. The first thing we notice is that the evaporator fan's not running. We checked the back, the compressor's running, and the condenser fan is running. So we're going to remove all the stuff out of the freezer and check the back of the evaporator and the evaporator fan motor. So on some of these shelves, they have a stopper in the back that you have to remove before you can take the shelf out. That just pulls off the back. Looks like that. Then we can remove the shelf by pushing in and then up. Now, let's take this light out first. So then we're going to remove the two screws in the back to pull this cover off. Then you should just have to pull forward to remove the back. There's some connections in the back. Make sure you have the unit off before you unplug anything. So one way of testing an evaporator fan motor that is an AC fan motor is to apply 110 volts of direct current to it, which we're doing here, and the motor is not responding. Okay, so we're going to change out the evaporator fan motor. The first thing we have to do to get to the brackets is to remove this front cover, and it's just held in by a couple clips in the back. Just depress the clips. This front cover will come right off for these two screws. 1/4-inch nuts. Access the fan motor. So we're going to remove the blade. Just pull forward on it. There's that. Alright. And we're just going to take the cage off around it. Our evaporator fan motor. Okay, so this is the old evaporator fan motor. This is the new one. You may see a little difference. In the instructions it tells you to tie in these to the new one. You can keep the same harness and the same ground. With the kit they give you a few wire ties. And so that's the next thing we're going to do. We'll take our wire cutters here, get rid of the old connection. strip the wires back. Tie this one up too. Okay. We'll remove everything from the old one. Put that to the side. So now we're going to tie in the new fan. They provided a harness, but since we already have one, we're not going to use that. Make sure you give yourself enough room so that you can reinstall it. So we're going to cut these down here. Strip these wires back. And then we're just going to tie them all back in using wire nuts. So they're all color coded too, so you can keep the same wires together. As soon as the wire starts to twist like that, you know you've got a good connection. Take the next two. These two go together. So we'll tie all three of these in. Just to make sure no moisture or anything gets in there. Follow it up with taping all the other connections. Alright, now that all of our wiring is done, we can reinstall the new motor. So first we're going to put the front on. We'll line up right inside, and we can put the fan blade back on. It just goes over the top. And then the back mount. Make sure everything lines up real nice. Reinstall. Feed this back into the front. Flip it over. Line it up from the back. Everything's tight. We can flip it around. Make sure all of our connections are out of the way of the fan. Make sure everything's set the right way. And reconnect the last ground. We're going to put the cover back on. realigning the tabs at the top first. Then you just have to push them all in. They just snap. Just like that. We'll clean off the front and reinstall. Again, making sure the power's off. We have one connection to make, so we're going to slide this back in. Swing around here. The bottom part is going to line up right here, and right back here is our connection. It's keyed in, so you can't put it in the wrong way. Make sure that's secure in there. I'll line the hole at the bottom here. Put it back in place. Now we're going to turn it on and make sure that the fan is working. So we plugged the refrigerator back in. We can hear the fan running. We check the bottom for airflow. We feel cold air coming out. So we're going to put the shelves back in and reattach the back of the evaporator. There's just 2 screws. There's one. This piece will go back on so that the shelf won't come back out. It just snaps in. I'm going to reinstall the light bulb. When you're doing this, hold the door switch in so you don't blow the bulb. Light works. Reinstall the cover. Put all the food back in and it just fixed. Thank you for watching another in-home diagnostic video brought to you by ApplianceVideo.com.